Justina's trip to Germany, Italy, Switzerland, and Paris. The whole study abroad group consisted of about 44 people. In Germany, we visited Rothenburg, Munich, and Heidelberg. In Italy, we spent 2 nights in Venice and a few hours in Verona. We stayed 2 nights in Lucerne, Switzerland, and 3 nights in Paris, France. The trip was organized through Explorica and included a tour guide named Oliver. The larger group was divided into 4 smaller groups, each named for a country we were visiting. I was in the France group. Within that group, there was a smaller group of people that we befriended. We normally hung out and sat with them during group events. During free time, I mainly did things with my husband, Matthew. It was truly a blessing to be able to travel and share that experience with someone I love and who understands what is important to me. As a nutrition major, I wanted to pay special attention on this trip to the food. I wanted to explore the taste and nutritional value of some of the foods the various areas were known for. I also wanted to be able to learn more about the foods that are a part of the daily lives of the people. We normally had breakfast at the hotel. We ate lunch during free time, and it was up to us to find our own food. We ate dinner as a group, normally out on the town, but we had about 3 hotel dinners. As I said, we ate breakfast in the hotel, and it was different from American breakfast. Instead of scrambled eggs or omelets, they had hard-boiled eggs, a healthier option. Instead of bacon and sausage, they mainly had cold cuts and thick slices of cheese. I tried the cold cuts, but was not a big fan, so I stuck to toast. At home, I usually put peanut butter on my toast, and I can often find peanut butter at hotel breakfasts. However, only one hotel had peanut butter. Nutella was a lot more common, so I used that instead. Another difference with various spreads was how it was served. In America, we use packets of jelly and peanut butter that we take to the table to spread. In Europe, they have jars of various spreads and little bowls. You scoop what you want in the bowl and take it back to your table. There's also a lot of pastry offerings at breakfast, many stuffed with Nutella. It seems like a very carb-heavy breakfast, but it evens out since walking is very common in Europe. In general, I was not that impressed with the food in Germany. Most of the food seemed overly salty. I have since learned that maybe because of the German beer culture. Salt takes out the bitterness of the beer and allows for more flavor. I was excited about trying the Black Forest cherry cake, but was not a big fan of it. I tried the Leberkäse, which is a loaf of meat. It tastes mostly like Spam, and I could only tolerate it with the roll that was provided. We had lunch at the beer garden in Munich. Again, I was adventurous, and I got crusted pork belly, Bavarian cabbage, and a bread dumpling, and a pretzel. But this time I could not finish my food. I ended up just getting a second pretzel. I also tried a popular pastry treat called a snowball. It was okay, but seemed too dense for just one person. There were some foods in Germany that I liked, though. I loved the dinners in Munich. The first night I had a bratwurst and mashed potatoes. The second night we ate at the oldest beer garden in Munich. There was a type of bread soup and chicken and roasted potatoes. These dishes didn't seem too salty, perhaps because I had beer with the food. In Heidelberg, I loved the spätzle we had. One food I was always able to count on was the Bavarian pretzel. The first time I ordered a pretzel in Germany, they asked if I wanted butter, and I said yes. I was disappointed when I got it, because it looked like they had forgotten the butter. I decided to eat it anyway, and was surprised to find that the butter was on the inside. Instead of melted butter on the outside of the pretzel was sliced and spread with butter and then closed again. Not only that, but the butter was so much better than any that I have had in America. Both nights in Verona we ate at the hotel, and both nights we started with salad. The first night had something that looked like baked ziti. It was really good, and our table thought it was the main course, since they let us get a second helping. Then they brought up the main dish of chicken. For dessert, we had chocolate ice cream. The second night we had tortellini that wasn't that great, followed by a really good pork chop with roasted potatoes. Dessert was just a fruit cocktail. The best experiences and worst experiences with Italian food came from the 3 lunches. The worst was a veggie pizza I had in Verona. I was excited to try pizza from Italy, but did not like it much. The olives were not what I was used to, and they even had the pits still in them. The lunch I had on the way to Venice was good. It was a Capri sandwich, which was made with thick mozzarella slices and tomato slices. My favorite Italian food was a seafood ravioli in a saffron sauce. While in Venice, we saw noodle shops that made and served fresh noodles. We did not get to try it, but when I go back, I definitely will. There was a lot of hype about gelato. I thought it was good, but could not tell the difference from ice cream. For lunch in Switzerland, I ate like a local. I went to the grocery store and bought a cheese and spinach pastry. Then I ate it next to the lake. For dinner, we had a traditional Swiss fondue. Most of the people complained that the only things we had to dip in the cheese was bread and potatoes. They thought that they should have a meat with the meal. This is a very American point of view. I tried to explain to them that our dinner was a complete meal. We had protein from the cheese, carb from the bread, and the potato was a vegetable. Not to mention, we had a salad. I also ate a late night snack at a California themed restaurant and tried the Swiss take on fries. They were flavored with some herb and tasted better than fries in America. Switzerland is also known for its chocolate. The one thing I noticed was that most of the chocolate bars had hazelnuts instead of peanuts. The best food on the whole trip was the dinner cruise in Paris. I do not know the name of everything I ate, but it just seemed to be of a higher quality. There was a selection of appetizers that included a spread. I tasted it, and it instantly reminded me of fried gizzards. I was able to try a sweet crepe with Nutella, and then a savory crepe with ham and egg. I loved them both. At the Louvre, I had a pre-made ham and cheese sandwich. I was nervous because in America, normally, pre-made sandwiches have mayonnaise on them, and I don't like mayonnaise. But when I bit into the sandwich, it had butter in it. I was surprised at first, but then I thought that it was just a different type of fat that was added to the sandwich instead of mayonnaise. I got to try macaroons, an eclair, and a beignet. Again, pastries are everywhere. My drinking experience in Europe was very different than in America. I tried a few times to drink coffee, but it was always too bitter, so I gave up and got my caffeine from soda. At home, I am used to drinking Diet Coke or Coke Zero. In Europe, they often serve soda in glass bottles that are smaller than the 20-ounce American plastic bottles. They also do not have free refills, which made drinking at meals more difficult for me. I did try one European diet soda, but was not a big fan. I tried a hot chocolate in Switzerland, but was not that impressed. I wish I had had a chance to try the Italian hot chocolate. I was also surprised to see lactose-free milk at the breakfast in the small, older hotel in Rothenburg, Germany, because most American hotels do not offer lactose-free milk. One new drink I noticed was a multivitamin drink at the breakfast throughout Europe. I tasted it and it had a flavor similar to Tang. I also noticed it was very hard to find water. Most often it was sold in glass bottles instead of plastic. I did bring my own refillable water bottle, but I could never find fountains to fill them. I do not drink much alcohol, however, when in Italy. So I tried beer in Germany and Switzerland, wine in Italy, and champagne in Paris. I was not that impressed. Everything tasted good, but it did not seem that different taste-wise from what I get in America. Overall, I had a wonderful trip. I experienced so much more than just food. I got to see gorgeous landscapes, meet amazing people, see awesome art, and learn so much history. But I wanted to give you just a taste of my trip. I hope that I left you hungry for more stories from my trip, and that you will come back for seconds soon.